Hi there, welcome to Terrorland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Leo energy, and like usual, we're going to do 2 rows. The top row we'll refer to as high vibe Leo energy, the bottom row as a more worldly, shadowy Leo energy, because we've all got our dualistic nature of free will. You know, we have these things of the world, and we have our more worldly nature, which is our more immature, prideful, fearful, insecure, lazy, addicted, bossy, controlling, petty, envious, jealous, the list goes on. We all got our shadow nature. And we can all be tempted to kind of indulge our more worldly nature or just keep repeating a pattern, living life the way we've been living it. But our intuition and our more creative, inspired, hopeful, believing nature could be kind of trying to encourage us to live life differently. And then people have to debate this and go back and forth within themselves in their free will about making a decision of what they're going to do. So some people could be struggling within themselves, but there's some people in the world that have already made the decision. They're moving forward in life differently. And when we move forward in life differently, we have these different people in our life. Some people are more aligned with our more hopeful, believing, loving nature. Some people are more aligned with our more worldly, shadowy nature. And they'd all kind of like us to be in relationships with them. But what is our truth at any given moment? Where are we at in our life? And that will probably determine who we choose to invest our time, energy, and effort into. The reason for the top rose reading is the official person, which is also why the reading came out. Sometimes there's high vibe energies about being independent, knowing your worth and value, loving yourself, believing in yourself, feeling stable and grounded within yourself. There's some people in our life who don't like that, and they think they should be the boss of us. But, we're not children anymore, and even if they were our parent, we're adults. But then there's just other people that think they should control us and be able to manipulate us or something. And some people decided, I'm going to step into standing up for myself and living my truth. And if other people don't like it, then other people don't like it. But high vibe energy is acting in truth and love, treating other people the way you like to be treated, showing people respect, and, but some people aren't going to like it because you maybe won't be spending as much time with them as you used to. What is the reason for the bottom rose reading? The gift of money. Our own more worldly, shadowy nature, kind of represented by the devil at the big picture, tries to tempt us to make our life more about fear and insecurity and lust and greed and pride and ego. And then there's people in our life who want us to live our life like that. And they could try to tempt us with things of the world, appeal to our lust and our greed or our codependent nature. So let's go look at the bottom row. Surprise visitor in reverse, a card not showing itself, the birds, and the dog. So the bird says Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is fire sign energy. It can be these things that motivate and inspire us. Sometimes we were very loving, giving, nurturing people with the dog card. Someone who tries to motivate and inspire other people, like offering other people truth and love and resources, trying to encourage other people to love and believe in themselves, to free themselves from the things that manipulate them, to stand up for themselves, to move forward in a more high vibrational energy. But, all we can do is offer people the truth and love, and they have to make that free will choice within themselves to stand up for themselves, even if what they're standing up to is their more shadow nature, which can be their more immature, people-pleasing nature. And sometimes people keep being manipulated by their more immature nature, their more people-pleasing nature, want everybody to like them, might want everybody to pet them. Shadowy Sagittarius can be like an immature player. I want more attention. Surprise visitor in reverse. I'm not sure about that. But then we have a card not showing itself. Let's look at that. Divine support. Well, we all got lessons to learn in life. And divine support could be being more connected in with our emotions and our intuition. In our more worldly nature, we have all these things we want to go indulge in the world. And even if our intuition is screaming in our face, like, I'm going to go do it anyway, because that's what life's about. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll make me happy. And that's how some people still want to live their life and are going to maybe keep living their life that way. Other people could have realized that they weren't really listening to their intuition. They could have went and indulged in some things. And they could have thought it was going to make them happy and was hoping it would make them happy. But maybe their intuition was trying to tell them, you are kind of like indulging yourself, or you are being kind of immature, or you're getting in a relationship with someone. They're not really on the same page as you, and, why aren't you standing up for yourself? Things like that. Let's go look at the top row. The lilies, despair, poverty, the moon, occupation, and the key. So, in our more worldly nature, we all, I think, go through a phase of maybe more codependent energy, just because we all grow up in families where we have like parents who we look to make us feel emotionally more stable and grounded and loved. And we haven't learned to take over that role for ourselves, within ourselves, like to be our own best mother, father, coach voice. And the lilies card references Capricorn energy, and Capricorn can represent our more worldly nature. We all could have gone through things of the despair card, like the Five of Cups, where we're sad that we've dealt with people in our life that didn't really work together with us cooperatively in love, and we can feel rejected and we can take it personally. And the poverty card is like the Five of Pentacles card. We kind of feel left out in the cold, wondering why people acted like that, even if it's friends and family members. Why weren't they more loving? Why weren't they more just and fair? Why were they bossy? Why were they controlling? Why were they kind of immature? Why did they go indulge in these other things versus being, loving or nurturing to me, right? And those can be things that the moon can talk about, that we kind of have hidden beneath the surface. And we could have felt like they weren't that big a deal. Yes, some of these things happen in my life, but it's not that big a deal. Not like I got to analyze it or something. Not a big deal. But it can still affect us, and we don't kind of realize that if we haven't kind of worked through those issues and healed from it, I think we can kind of be drawn and attracted to people who the moon can talk about like subconsciously, who subconsciously remind us of those people, because it's kind of like trying to get someone who maybe was immature, maybe lived more from their mind than their heart, was caught up in these things of the world, indulged in these things of the world more than paying attention to us, that then when we get older and we meet someone who has some of those same traits and characteristics, but now we can be in a romantic relationship with them, it's kind of like, oh, well, if I could really be in a romantic relationship with them. Here we have the occupation and the key. The occupation can be about like putting work and effort into a relationship to make it work. We can get in relationships with people who subconsciously remind us of those people, because we, in our shadowy Leo energy, are kind of in our pride and ego about it, that there were these people in our life who didn't really work together with us the way we wanted. And then we can get in relationships with people who are like that, and our intuition could be telling us, this person has these traits and characteristics. We've kind of already known people who are like that, but we didn't really connect the dots about, yeah, they kind of remind me really of so-and-so that I have some unhealed pain and heartbreak over. And we get in a relationship with them, and then they're acting that way, and we're being loving and encouraging, trying to get them to work through these issues with us, this unresolved pain and heartbreak. I want you to work together with me like in truth and love. The key is high vibe, is Leo energy. I want you to be more authentic and loving and just and fair and all those things. I want you to quit investing in these more worldly, shadowy, or defensive ways of being, and I want you to love me. You are the key to me solving that pain and heartbreak. And then those people, odds are they don't change because life's about learning lessons. And if that's not the truth of who they are, you know, everybody has free will to live life the way they want it. And if people are bossy or controlling or immature or whatever, that could take years and decades for them to be a more balanced, loving, nurturing, more authentic, mature person. And so then it doesn't really work out the way we want. And then we wonder, am I going to keep trying to change someone? And then we kind of get out of our ego and we realize the only person I can change is me. And if they were motivated and inspired to be a more just and fair and emotionally mature, authentic, loving person, they would be. And I don't want to spend decades trying to change someone. They have the right to live their life whatever way they want. I need to go get in relationships with people who are more on the same page as me. And then it kind of triggers us to finally put in this work and effort to work through kind of that pain and heartbreak that certain people in the world that might have certain ways of living life or viewing relationships, what they think is just and fair, on, that we deal with it and we kind of work through not taking it personally. If people were more loving, authentic, mature, just and fair people, they would be. And if they don't, that's kind of, we can only offer people love and encouragement and be loving and encouraging and just and fair and self-disciplined ourselves. And if we're proud of how we conducted ourselves in a relationship, then we don't take it personally if they're not acting that way in return. They maybe still have some things that manipulate them. Maybe they don't even want to do love. Maybe they just want to go play in the world. Maybe they want to be in more immature relationships. Maybe they don't want to work through their pain and heartbreak that they keep buried. You have to even be inspired to want to do that. I don't want to carry around this baggage that I have. I am going to put in the work and effort to work through these things so I can be free of them. And then the occupation card kind of reminded me of an Eight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy. I want to deal with the truth of it. I want to, and Leo energy is about illuminating the truth of it. And love is the answer. I offer love to the situation. I can have different people in my life that I love. Yep, they're immature. Yep, that person's bossy and controlling. Yep, that person's full of themselves. That person's manipulative. But these can all be people, all the different people that we know in our life. We're all fallible human beings. Do I want to date or marry someone like that anymore? No, because I've learned that just like I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who tries to make me change, how about we respect each other, that we are making our free will choices about how we want to live our life. If people want to offer me love and encouragement, that's great. I have the free will to love and believe in myself or not. I can offer love and encouragement to other people, maybe hoping they'd free themselves from some ways of viewing life or living life. But they have free will not to do that. And they have the free will to live their life whatever way they want. And it has more, all of us, it has more to do with us. We can have that pain and heartbreak from our past that we haven't dealt with. But ultimately, we decide how we choose to treat other people in the world. And we see that truth that I'm not going to take it personally. I can only take responsibility for my actions. And if I acted immature or whatever shadowy way I could have acted, then the only person I can change is me. And I am going to grow up and mature myself and heal. And I'm going to do this work to free myself. I want to be in high vibe Leo energy. I want to be in life-giving energy. I can belittle and berate myself. I can indulge my immature nature. I can indulge other people in immature energy or whatever. I can do whatever I want, but what kind of life do I want to live? And am I willing to fight to have what I want in my life from love? And am I willing to love myself and believe in myself and be like my own best mother, father, coach voice in my head? I can belittle and berate myself all day. I could probably find people who want to hang out with me and belittle and berate me all day too. I can do that if I want. Or I can choose that I'm going to do this work to love myself and free myself from my own shadowy nature, my more immature nature, my prideful, defensive, petty, envious, jealous, whatever nature. I want to free myself. I don't want to keep living my life like this. I don't want to keep being in relationships that are like this. And I want to, high vibe Leo is like who I present myself in the world. I want to be a true reflection of who I am. I don't want to present myself as being one kind of person, but inside that's not the truth of who I am. If I'm presenting myself as being a certain type of person, I authentically want to be that type of person. And it isn't about, well, if other people loved me and if other people valued me and if other people blah, blah, blah. That's staying in more codependent, defeatist energy because we don't control other people. We have to do this work within ourselves to free ourselves. I have to value me. I have to appreciate what I bring to the table. If there's ways I need to heal and grow and mature myself, I need to do that work within myself. Ultimately, I hold the key to freeing myself. I can blame other people at one point in time. People have their own responsibility for how they could have hurt us, but other people can throw us under the bus and kick us to the curb. We decide if we stay there. Or do I have hope and faith and belief in myself? Am I going to let people who are unkind, unjust, unfair, immature, players, egotistical, prideful, manipulative, egotistical, narcissistic, whatever, make me give up on my dreams because I came into some contact with some people, got some lessons learned in life? Hell no. I am not going to let shadowy people who probably got their own issues, which make them act in that shadowy way of being. The moon is the opposite of the sun. I think these people got their own issues to deal with, which is what makes them act that way. And I'm going to put in this work and effort to heal from that and to see the truth, because our Virgo nature goes within to see the truth. Some people aren't very just and fair. Some people aren't very loving. People, all that. And I'm going to free myself. I'm going to give myself the things I wish other people would have given me. And I'm going to keep moving forward, believing in my dreams. And I'm not going to let the fact that I came across some immature people make me quit believing in my dreams. I just see the truth of who you are. And I don't want to keep investing in people like you. I'm curious about the surprise visitor in reverse. What is that about? The 10 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords, because of the 5 of Wands. Oh, we could be sad. There could be someone that we thought kind of was on the same page as us, that we wanted to have move forward with us. And some of those people aren't going to move forward with us. With the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords wanting to bring a dream into reality, there's some people that have inner conflict about that. And so they're not moving forward with us. And that can make us sad because we kind of thought they were on the same page, but we don't know. Some of those people, it's like, sorry, if I were to come get in a relationship with you, I would be investing in my more immature nature because I've worked through my own pain and heartbreak and moving forward in my life, and might have the people in my life who are encouraging and loving and supportive. And if I were to, because sometimes like in the occupation card, with it being like Virgo energy, a pentacle. It can be about and this is a masculine figure, taking action in the world. You could have made an offer to someone who you do think might be on the same page as you. And then that person isn't willing to move forward with you in that way. And you've got to work through it that, someone who you thought was on the same page isn't. And again, you do that work and effort to free yourself from it, just not to get in your ego. I don't know if they're in wonderful, loving relationships, or maybe they're not who I thought they were. I could have told them my truth and lessons I've learned and how I'm planning to move forward. And they might have been happy I reached out to them, but they know, oops, yeah, I'm not there. I'm still kind of living life like this. And I might have my issues that I haven't worked through but I'm glad you thought I was on the same page as you, but I know I'm not. And so sometimes we don't know why some people aren't moving forward, but sometimes it's because they know the truth of who they are. And maybe with the divine support not showing itself, maybe right now they're not listening to their intuition. Maybe they don't kind of look at life from a higher perspective. Maybe they don't. I'm kind of viewing it maybe like Aquarius energy. Maybe they don't really have hope and faith and belief in themselves or believe in their dreams. Kind of tipped out of balance and aren't kind of keeping things in perspective. Maybe caught up more in their mind or their indulgence in the world or making these things more important in their life. So we work through that too, that it's like, well, that's too bad. I thought you were on the same page, but I guess you're not. So, I'm going to keep believing in myself, believing in my dreams to find the people who are on the same page as me. And, as you're moving forward in the world with the Moon card, there's some people in the world that are in this energy, kind of a more worldly, shadowy energy, and they could have the illusion that you're kind of in that energy too. And some of those people will pop up in your life, whether they're from your past or your present or people you meet moving forward. Because you have free will, you'll always be given choice. And it's kind of like God trying to see, did you want to repeat this pattern again, or did you learn what you needed to learn there? And so you could have more people pop up in your life that present themselves as a more stable, grounded, authentic, loving person, like they're on the same page as you. And they could try to tempt you in your fear, your insecurity, your lust, your greed again, to stop you from getting in the relationships with the people you're really meant to be in a relationship with, because they would like to be in a relationship with you. It would be good for their status, their ego, their image, maybe, or just that you're a loving, nurturing person. They want to be the next person to kind of indulge in a relationship with you. But the Pisces moon can talk about you're listening to your intuition now, where before you could have been more tempted in your worldly nature and you didn't listen to your intuition. But some people don't know that you've learned some of these lessons in life and you're not as naive and gullible as you could have been before. And I think you'll listen to your intuition about the different people that might approach you or that you meet, because you're looking for people who harness this energy in a more high vibrational Leo Virgo energy than a more worldly Virgo Leo energy, where the long-term goal is more about looking like you've moved forward, that you're victorious and successful, making your life more about the world and ego and maybe them more about themselves. And you want to be in relationships with people who've been illuminated to the truth that love is what makes it all worthwhile. Because otherwise it can seem kind of superficial and shallow and immature. And I think different types of people you will meet and different types of people will approach you. And I think you'll just kind of listen to your intuition about who's on the same page. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Leo energy that they might not see coming up? The Two of Cups. Why? Because of the Knight of Swords. So the Two of Cups, you're going to align with truth and love as you go through this process of healing and believing in yourself. To get out of the Two of Cups can kind of be about what you align with. You're going to align in your Gemini energy with your more hopeful, believing nature and standing up for yourself and speaking your truth. And some of these former stages of life that you went through, all of those experience could have been to get you to deal with some of this past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs, to stand up for yourself. Maybe you were someone who wasn't really willing to stand up for yourself because, you didn't want people to be mad at you, or you wanted people to view you a certain way. And now it's like, I can be a loving, nurturing person, but I still have my truth. And I'm going to stand up for my truth of what I think is just and fair. Or maybe before you weren't really willing to do that. And sometimes I've been kind of looking at that dog as like a people-pleasing aspect. But I want to be in a relationship and I want people to like me and blah, blah, blah. We're not really speaking our truth of what we really want to manifest. Just kind of hoping that as time goes by, it'll all magically work out. And why waste our time? Just tell people the truth. I've been in more immature relationships. I've been with people who are bossy, controlling, more materialistically focused, egotistically focused, think I should indulge them in a relationship, and I'm not willing to do that anymore. I will gladly go enjoy my life with friends and family than settle for being in a relationship where I got to indulge someone in their poor behavior. I'm not doing it anymore. And if that's what you want, well, then go find someone else to be in a relationship with. I'll go enjoy my life not having to indulge someone who's like that. And I think, though, as you move forward, there's going to be people who are mad at you because they want you to indulge them in a relationship. And they'd like to be in a relationship with you, but only if you will quit standing up for yourself and deserving justice and fairness and truth and love and character and integrity. So some people might communicate with you that they're mad at you, that they wanted to be in a relationship with you. And you might have to tell them, I didn't find you to be very just or fair. You did things that were hurtful and unkind. I felt left out in the cold with you. I felt like, you weren't being authentic. You weren't being truthful. I could have felt you were being secretive. You might have some immature ways of being and coping, and you think people should just keep investing in you anyway. Like, you don't ever have to get out of your pride and ego or deal with any of your issues to free yourself from them. Well, I'm not your parent and you're not my child. And I'm not going to keep indulging you in poor behavior. But you seem to kind of have this illusion maybe about what it means to be in a relationship and think people should keep indulging you in poor behavior in a relationship. And that might be your idea of the dream relationship. That's not my idea of the dream relationship. And then there's going to be other people that are going to stand up and defend you and want to move forward with you because they do find you to be this insightful, warm, loving, authentic, balanced, just fair person. Maybe to be the official person in your life. What's coming up for some of the people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Leo energy that they might not see coming? The Three of Pentacles and the Fool card because of the Ten of Swords. So when some people kind of act kind of immature in some way in a relationship, they could have some people that kept being willing to be in a relationship with them. They were like a fool for them. I love you. I'm sure you're going to change one day. Even though you keep kind of backstabbing and betraying me, and you keep not wanting to see that you keep taking foolish risks in a relationship. Well, eventually the people in their life who are kind of motivated and inspired to want to work together with people cooperatively are going to be done. And they're not going to want to work with them anymore. And they're going to move on. I am sad this relationship didn't work out. I really didn't want to have to go through a period of feeling left out in the cold and detaching from this relationship, this friendship, or this job, but I am willing to do it because I can't keep staying in denial of the truth. For a long time, I might not have wanted to see the truth, but I can't stay in denial of the truth anymore. And I've seen the truth. If you were motivated and inspired by love and to grow up or heal or mature yourself, you would. And you don't. So I'm done. And the tens are like a completion of a cycle, and you come out with the truth. It's like I'm dropping the burden. I worked through every different thought I had. Well, I don't want to leave because I love them. Well, I don't want to leave because then I might feel left out in the cold for a while. I'd have to find a new job, a new friend, a new romantic relationship. I have these fears of putting in work and effort and loving and believing in my dreams. But I can't keep letting my own shadow nature and my fear and my insecurity kind of like run my life and manipulate me and bully me, or let other people in my life do that. And I'm not going to. And I'm going to stand up for myself. And I'm going to do all this work and effort within myself to free myself and love myself and stand up for myself and what I believe in. And apparently my truth is different than your truth, so I'm leaving. Some of you already did that. Some people are just doing it. Some of the kind of more shadowy people of the world could be repeating this pattern with someone else, and that person's going to end it with them. You know? Some people just want to indulge in relationships. Again, I'm going to create the illusion that I'm willing to bring that dream into reality, but I just create the illusion. And as long as you buy into the illusion of who I am and keep thinking I'm going to bring that dream into reality one day, I'll keep indulging in the relationship. This works for me. I'm good. And until people work through their own fears and insecurities and stuff that could make them keep indulging some of these people in a relationship, they will. And you might know some people right now that are people that you could feel let somebody manipulate them. Could be a friend or a family member. Could be a romantic interest. They could be a fool for the world. They could have addictions. They could be in lust or greed. They could be whatever. You know, they haven't learned some lessons that some other people have learned in life. We all could have indulged in some of those things at some period in time in our life, and we thought for sure that was living the dream, that was going to make us happy. But we already learned, some of us, that kind of probably caused me more despair and feeling rejected and emotionally confused. And I learned not to indulge in those things or make those things that important in my life. You know, I think the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed, but you're supposed to enjoy them from a place of love. That way you don't give them that much importance in your life. Drugs, whatever, booze, relationships. I can enjoy things, but I don't give it so much power in my life that I let it kind of run my life off into the ditch. I love myself. I stand up for what I believe in. I can indulge in things in the world, and I don't let it get a stranglehold on me. And I don't let people that I get in a relationship with me manipulate me or whatever, where it's like, oh my gosh, but my dream won't come into reality, and oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of being single or something, you know? And there's people right now, they really don't like being single. And so they keep getting in relationships, maybe just to feel better, maybe for status or ego or image. And they never, I don't know, just got, maybe even just have a lot of inner conflict within themselves. Want to just feel better. You know, that's our shadow nature. It's like short-term gratification. I feel sad. I feel conflicted. I'm in my ego. I'm immature. I feel backstabbed. I want to backstab someone else. And they go, you know, but people reap what they sow. If they're acting in kind of immature, prideful, whatever ways, it's probably not going to work out the way they thought either. And, you know, sometimes it's just to help us see the truth of some of the people we were dealing with because we didn't want to see the truth. And then when we kind of distance ourselves from some people and they go act this way, yeah, it's hurtful, but it's helping us to see the truth. They weren't probably ever the person we maybe thought they were. And it could reveal that they got a lot of issues that they need to work through, and they could be people who wore a very good social mask. Someone who tried to present themselves as high vibe Leo. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not immature. I'm not impulsive and reckless. I don't operate from fear and insecurity and pride and ego. And they do. That you just, for a long time, people can wear a very good false mask until, something could come up or their issues bubble back up. And then some people are a fool for a relationship. Well, I got in a relationship with you. You were supposed to solve all my problems. Oh, my issues are bubbling up. You must not be the right person. I have to go get in a relationship with someone else because you weren't the truth. It's like, I never was the truth to your problems. All I can do is offer love and encouragement and support. You have to do that work within yourself, but that's not how some people view life and relationships either. No, I'm codependent. Instead of indulging in booze or drugs, I get in relationships, and you are supposed to be the answer to all my problems. And if my problems bubble back up again, some of my fears or my insecurities, then it's you. You're the wrong person. I need to go find someone else who is the answer to all my problems. And until they are willing to see the truth of it, and some of them are unwilling to see the truth. No, it's not me. I wouldn't have these fears or these insecurities or this defensive nature if it wasn't something about you. You must be doing something. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I need to leave. You go live your life and keep repeating that pattern with someone else. Oh, and then, so they're probably going to have some high vibe people leave their life. And eventually what they might end up with is having to be in a relationship with someone who's like themselves, because that would be a just and fair and balanced relationship. Maybe someone else who doesn't want to deal with the truth, who might like to live more from their mind than their heart, that does kind of like to indulge themselves in the world the same way they like to indulge themselves in the world, if that's in things or if it's making their life all about money and materialism and status and ego. And that would be a just and fair relationship, because they might be people who don't believe there is any higher truth or purpose to being on this planet than to make your life all about the world. And they could reject that there even is any other higher purpose. And other people don't think these things of the world are the most important thing in the world. They could feel making their life just about these things they indulge in. They find it emotionally unfulfilling, and they figure out, why do I feel sad? I could have all these things in the world, but I don't. It just doesn't seem like I'm fulfilled. What am I missing? And they do this work to realize that truth and love, and there is a higher truth and purpose. And I need to use my unique talent, skills, and interests that are unique to me, that get me in the zone, that make me feel creative and inspired, or hobbies, or just being in more authentic, balanced, loving relationships. So there you go, Leo. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.